were 5. That is how many GOP presidential candidates have qualified for tomorrow night's debate, which will be happening in Miami. Missing from the stage will be the GOP frontrunner, former President Donald Trump. This is the 3rd straight debate that he has skipped, this time opting to hold a rally instead in Florida. For more, I'm joined now by political correspondent Natalie Allison. Natalie, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Many say Nikki Haley is going to be the one to watch in tomorrow night's debate. She has picked up the most traction. She's found herself gaining quite a bit of momentum between debates. What is she doing right?
Yeah, well, it's pretty clear that Nikki Haley is someone who has a target on her back going into this debate. Since the last debate, she's the only candidate who's actually going up in the polls. If you think back to the September debate, Nikki Haley was about neck and neck nationally with Vivek Ramaswamy. And the two of them, of course, went after each other at times during that debate. But since then, Nikki Haley has gone up a few points nationally. And in the early states like New Hampshire, she surged essentially to second place, overtaking Ron DeSantis there. In Iowa, she's had good news in polling there. And so she's someone who, because of her success at the first 2 debates, she really got the attention of voters. She did get the attention of donors, and right now is someone that these other candidates vying to be the Trump alternative want to bring down. And so we've already seen from the DeSantis camp ads being taken out against Haley, the same thing from the Haley camp against DeSantis. So these are 2 that we very well may see go after each other at this next debate.
And speaking of Ron DeSantis, he has picked up a major endorsement of the Iowa governor, Kim Reynolds. How much does that help him, not only going into the debate, but into the Iowa caucus?
Well, that remains to be seen. The DeSantis camp would like to think that Governor Reynolds' endorsement counts for a lot in the state. It's not usual for the Iowa governor to wade into the presidential race ahead of the caucuses. The governor herself had even said she was going to stay neutral in this race, but she has taken a number of hits from Donald Trump. And so it does call into question, is she doing this truly because she thinks Ron DeSantis is going to be able to win with her endorsement, or is this merely a signal that, we don't have to go along with what Donald Trump is saying just because he is leading in the polls? There have been polls that have been released just since this news came out, showing that her endorsement probably wouldn't drastically alter the course of the race and wouldn't necessarily put DeSantis over the top. But it remains to be seen just how committed Governor Reynolds will be to campaigning for him in Iowa. If she spent day in and day out singing his praises and really urging voters to move on from Trump, maybe that would count for something. But right now, the governor has spent much of the summer, weekend after weekend, weekdays in Iowa, and has really only seen his polling numbers go down a bit.
A couple of the other candidates to watch tomorrow night, Vivek Ramaswamy, Chris Christie, they haven't seen a whole lot of movement in the polls. They're sort of neck and neck around 4th. What do they need to do? What will you be watching for from those 2?
Well, from Christie, we can expect him to go after Donald Trump. That's sort of his trademark in this campaign. He is Trump's chief critic in this Republican primary. He does appear to enjoy going after the former president on the debate stage in a way that his rivals haven't done as much. With Vivek Ramaswamy, he is someone who in this campaign was really introducing himself for the very first time to Americans. And so I think we could see him once again saying things that maybe come across as a little controversial, but are going to get picked up as a viral clip, and people will hear played over and over, because that's really how Vivek Ramaswamy has made his mark so far. That's really how he saw his polling surges earlier this summer, is by saying things that the others weren't saying on stage, something that would stick out and get some additional coverage. So that's what we could see from those 2. But again, going into this debate, Chris Christie and Vivek Ramaswamy certainly don't have the attention and momentum that someone like Nikki Haley does, and DeSantis, because he just did get this endorsement from Kim Reynolds, and because he's really putting himself in the fight against Nikki Haley right now.
How big of an issue, how much of a factor will Israel be in tomorrow's debate?
I would think certainly someone like Nikki Haley is going to make that a big point that she focuses on. She wants to show off her foreign policy experience. She wants to tout her time at the United Nations. She wants to show off her strong American interventionist policies for abroad, and contrast that with someone like Vivek Ramaswamy.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.